Let me just check.
Thorin's looking fucking wired. Like, are we gonna reset? What's gonna happen? Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Nothing happens for the foreseeable future as you guys start to travel some 100 kilometers towards the Trident. And then as the night starts to set again, Benjamin looks like he's ready to sort of like camp out again to not overdo the horses. And he just turns around and says, the storm's setting in again. The horses can't stand this cold. We'll have to take this. We'll have to take shelter. I'd much rather head straight to the Trident than stay out here, but I suppose we have no choice. And as a lot of you sort of look off into the distance, you see the village start to come into view again. And as Benjamin stops his horses nearby,
Tobias just like sighs and rests his head in his hands again.
you see you see like shadows sort of coming closer, rushing full speed from like the far off in the blizzard where all the snow is. But this time, instead of seeing Freya, you just see shadows sort of leap up to the side of the cart, and you can see its mouth sort of mumble something, but it doesn't actually produce any noise. But it seems very happy at Carlius.
We can't see.
Oh no.
I cast light on my wand.
Alright, yeah, you can add a torch.
I checked my back. Do I still have my cape on?
Everything is gone.
Fuck.
And
Is this Metro? This is Metro.
And this time, as you sort of look at her, you see various other shadows come up behind, and they seem to wave their hands a little bit, and the shadow closest to the caravan runs back. Looking into the village, you see that most of it is quite dark. There's no signs of life, as Benjamin sort of goes, you can take the horse and carriages up further if you want. I don't like the feels of this place.
I look at Benjamin. Is he normal?
Yeah, he's normal. He sort of sits, he sort of hops off and then starts to walk towards
Benjamin,
the sides of the place, and he turns around as Freya's shadow looks to a lot of you, looks to Benjamin for a little bit, and then back to the others, and Benjamin doesn't seem to register her presence.
This is really freaking me out.
The Metro theme here just fits so well.
I want to go up to Benjamin.
Yep, you go up to Benjamin, and he looks at you as he starts setting his bedroll down.
Have you seen this place before?
Oh, the village of Readon. Yeah, there are a few villages around the Trident. Heard some of them got burned down, but I didn't really pass by this area, so I'm not sure.
Do you see anything here?
He turns and does a quick glance all over the place and goes, "No, but this place does give me kind of the creeps. I'll camp out. I'll camp out by the road. It'll be fine."
Huh.
Guys, I go back to the group.
So
Yes.
I'm not the only one seeing that, right? I like gesture at the shadows.
And the shadows sort of wave several times as if telling you to come over, as the other two turn and they move towards the house.
I feel like this is what this place always looked like.
Yeah. Okay, what's the game plan?
Slow,
How do we...
slow and steady. Watch the houses. I don't trust this place at all.
feel that our purpose here is as spectators.
And as everyone sort of follows Freya's shadows, you eventually get up to...
Freya.
I have my weapon drawn, but not raised.
She sort of like turns around and looks at Carlos every now and again with very playful gestures and whatnot. And as you come up to...
Oh, no, that's definitely her.
As you all come up towards most of the houses and you see them for the first time, most of the wood has already been burnt away. And just looking through the doors, you see that all the tables have been flipped over, chairs all over the place, and all of them have been burnt to pretty much ashes. And eventually Freya leads you all up to the happy poem couple as one of the shadows start to move his arms all over the place and then presumably says something as the other just shakes its head.
I think we should check the well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you all
If the shadow comes back, she'll know it'll react to us.
Damn it, who
as
did
everyone
I
sort
take
of
the
comes
torch
over
from?
here, you know that the well, as you sort of like peek into it, there's no water inside, and like bits and pieces of like rock have fallen into the bottom of it.
We should check if that lockbox is there.
Yeah. Carlos, do you want to check the lockbox?
Yeah.
Has anybody got any rope?
Of course, always. I point at the reel on my shoulder.
Thorin, can you give me a hand? I'll check out the well.
Carlius, as you come up to the stables and you dig in the same spot, you do in fact find the chest with all the previous items aforementioned. So you guys don't have to change your inventory whatsoever.
Okay, cool.
And
That's thankful.
for you guys looking down into the well, what are you trying to achieve?
I'm tying one end of the rope around my wrist and bracing my foot against the edge of the well.
I secure the knot with that 18 roll.
Alright.
And I'm going to take the rope and slowly head down.
Alright, as you head down, at the very bottom, you know that the well there's like a tunnel that leads further away, but most of it has sort of crumbled in and collapsed on itself. But you do notice several red ribbons. Like 2 red ribbons just beneath some rocks.
You see anything?
Do I recognize those red ribbons, like from the goblins?
No, actually from Freya. She was a tiefling with ponytails, and on each ponytail she had red ribbons.
Oh,
That's creepy. I take the ribbons and just put them in my pocket for now. And I'm going to call up. The cave looks like it's collapsed here. I also found some ribbons that look like the ones... sorry, what was her name again?
Freya.
Freya. Look like the ones Freya was wearing.
Carlius, when was the last time you saw Freya before all this?
I'm going to roll history on that because I don't know.
Hey, Tobias, grab the rope, pull you up.
Well, I really don't know.
I feel uncomfortable having you down there.
At the very least, it's been 1.5 months for you, Carlius. Oh no, 2 months actually.
There you
From
go.
all the time
So
skips.
I relay that.
I shout up, 1 sec, I'm just gonna check something out, and I'm gonna... the tunnel that's caved in, does it look like I could knock any of it through to see what's beyond it?
Oh no,
Is it possible?
it's like, you can... It's like a bunch of rock has caved in, but through the rocks there are like gaps that you can sort of peek through, and you see very much along the entire tunnel, it's the very same.
Okay, yeah, I'll take the rope and climb back up.
Right.
I
Is
will
it-
pull the rope up as he climbs to make sure he doesn't fuck it up.
Yeah, you
Is
guys
it
aren't
possible
under
this?
pressure,
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is it possible that all of this is perhaps real? That we have not been shifting our space and time? That this is simply how things are?
What, like this town is cursed?
No, that this town is as we see it right now, and this is how we've always been seeing it.
Yeah, I said that when we first arrived, is that I feel like this is what it's actually looked like this whole time. We've just been seeing an illusion, because Brother Benjamin every single time never wants to come in.
Hey, the
We
first
should-
that you get inspiration, woohoo!
We should go talk to Brother Benjamin about this.
I need
I'm
to
go-
check this place out.
I pull out those ribbons and hand them to Carlius and say, do these look familiar?
You instantly realize. For Carlius, yeah, you recognize it straight away.
Oh, this is literally good, like
yeah.
sending shivers down my spine. This is so good. Holy shit.
I'm just shuddering as I take the ribbons. Like, yep. Yes, I do.
Oh my god, goosebumps
The
out of
shadow sort of looks at the lot of you and waves several times towards the inn again.
I ready my weapon a little bit.
We'd best follow her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For now, yeah.
Do I sense any animosity or maliciousness or anything
Not at
from
all.
my surroundings? Okay. This place is just dead.
Alright.
And
So as you sort of follow
Not
her
so
along,
loud.
you see the 3 shadows of the little children who are playing, and they sort of draw on the snow on the ground. Every now and again, you do see that the snow does give way, and it draws like little pictures of dogs and cats. But then those pictures fade, and then they redraw it again.
Wait, guys.
Hmm?
Benjamin was cowering the first time we were here.
What do you mean?
Remember, he was hiding in the snow because the goblins charged this place.
Yeah.
Perhaps it wasn't goblins after all.
Maybe we need to go have a better talk with Benjamin?
But if events are in a loop, we won't know what he thinks of it until it happens.
I'm saying he might be... He might not be the cause, I don't know. I'm just searching for ideas. This is...
And as
Thorin
you
just
walk
got, like, this-
through, sort of,
Thorin.
continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, the look on Thorin's face is similar to the one where we were blowing out candles.
And as you enter the tavern, you see most of it is burnt down. The main bar itself has already collapsed in on itself, and then all the wood seems black and charred. But you see the shadow of Patrick sort of standing there, mixing some invisible drinks and whatnot, and he pats the invisible table, gesturing for you to take a seat.
Slowly, guys, slowly.
I stand in front of the seat. What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah, most of the seat starts to crumble away, and you see Carlius, Freya's shadow sort of sits next to you, sort of on an invisible seat, and everyone sees JB and Fiona and Ed Smash sort of sitting in their corner doing their thing as well.
I want to do a test. I want to wave at the people at this table and see if the shadows give any kind of reaction.
They do. They turn around, they look at you, they say things, but you can't hear.
I just bite my lip and turn my head away and just be like, oh god. What is this place?
What does Tobias know about ghosts and specters and whatnot?
You notice there can be ghosts just from, I guess, general world knowledge. You would know that ghosts and specters can be hostile if it's sort of one person who isn't properly taken care of when they died and whatnot, and they sort of rise from the grave. But you've not experienced something to this scale where an entire village are specters like this. Plus, they're not hostile to you.
Yeah. Could this be a sort of thing that we need to, they died unsatisfied and we need to fix that before they pass on? I don't know how.
Tobias?
Is that a thing that ghosts do?
Are you asking this in character?
To Mr. DM.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to me, sorry.
In terms of that, yes.
So that is a thing that ghosts do.
Yeah,
sometimes?
they died unsatisfied. But as you think about that, Freya's face sort of leans into Carlius for a little bit. You feel a slight shiver and chill run down your spine as the ghostly touch is very cold. But eventually you turn to look at her and she looks at you. You just see a black shadow sort of shimmering a little bit. But you can roll insight at advantage. She eventually, after having hugged you again, steps back, looks at you, and with both hands sort of as though she's grabbing her dress, she does a little curtsy and then just waves at you. As does Patrick, who looks at Carlius and starts to wave at you too. JB, Fiona, and Ed Smash looks at the lot of you. They all start waving as well. The children come in from outside. They look at you and they wave too.
Guys, back up.
The servers
wave back.
also come over and wave at you, as do the two people who are drinking. They all look at you, waving. You can swear that there is a smile on each and every one of their faces when eventually you hear the trudging of snow outside the main tavern. And as you hear
My weapons are raised.
you hear the creaking of you hear the creaking of some wood as the main door falls apart and all the shadows simultaneously sort of disappear. And then Benjamin walks through the door and says, "Hey guys, listen, I think we should get out of here.
I concur, Benjamin. What is this place?
I'm not sure. I believe this was a village of Readon.
I think you know more than you're letting us on.
We should probably get out of here. You can roll an insight, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm rolling one as well. I'm
Because
super
I
sus on
don't
this guy.
believe a word.
Oh, that's not supposed to be an advantage.
Yeah, it's not worse.
Alright, Thorin and Arcturus, also Carlius would get advantage because he's the only one who has ties to this place. Tobias, you're the only one who can't figure this out, but for everyone else, you all know that Benjamin is genuinely freaked out. Like, he's very scared of the supernatural and whatnot. He hasn't actually been here before. He is just passing through. And if you were to recall back to all the other times that he came here, the words that he sort of said are just, he doesn't want to come into this village whatsoever. He never, ever, even when Freya was talking to him, he never made any, he didn't respond to her or anything like that. He never looked at any ghosts. He ignored them. Freya thought he was rude, but he just ignored them because he can't see.
What about on that first
I walk
night?
over. Sorry.
That first night when the goblins first attacked, we ran past, we checked on Benjamin to make sure he was safe, and he was hidden in the snow, freaking out. Was that because the ghosts were swarming him?
No, it's actually sort of like nightmares. Sort of like how when you went to sleep in Ashen's lair.
I touch Brother Benjamin on the shoulder and reach out a comforting hand and I say, Brother Benjamin, please, tell me, what have you heard about this place in your travels?
I've
Or in
heard
stories.
nothing. I know of villages being burned and razed in the war, but to actually set foot in one. And he sort of rubs his little religious symbol and says, I feel as though my faith is tested this very moment.
I understand. And
I want to cut them off and say, we can't be in the building, can't get cornered like that again. Everybody out.
Yeah, let's...
Yeah.
I
We can
feel
talk-
that these spirits have departed us.
Ah!
I took the torch again. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Who needs it? Arcturus. There you go.
Benjamin
One second.
starts leading everybody out of the main
Oh, good.
village itself, and he makes his way back into the carriage. And as he sort of straddles onto the horse and he looks at the lot of you, he just gestures for you to get back on and says, I think it might be best for us to move on now. Best not to tarry. I feel like we've overstayed our welcome.
Has the storm passed?
That deja vu.
Has the storm passed, Brother Benjamin? Is it safe to travel?
No, but I'd much rather head straight to the Trident than stay out here.
I don't know how I feel about leaving.
Hey Tobias, slow down. Come over here for a sec.
Ooh.
You look up at them and then they turn around and face you. And it's sort of like you see almost like a reenactment of the previous night, and you don't see the other shadows, but you see one of the shadows get dragged out of the room, and once she gets to about there, it disappears. And as the other, it picks something up and starts slamming it at the door before it also disappears.
Wait, guys, come back. We can find out what happened. Alright, who do we care about the most? We care about what happened to Freya. We need to find out what happened to Freya's mum.
Yeah.
Alright, so, fuck. Do I still have those torches that I got?
Yes. Like, well,
Alright,
not
I'm
from
gonna-
before. I'm just gonna be, for the sake of brevity, you went back and looted everything, so you don't have to change your inventory a third time.
Alright, cool. So I'm gonna take a torch and I'm gonna run back up to the tavern. I say, one or two of you stay here and watch what happens to the mum. I'm gonna go find Freya.
She disappeared. She was in there.
I'm gonna head up anyway, just in case something happens. I don't want to be absent if it does.
Okay, Carlius, it looks like events are still happening as they did before, but there's no goblins about. The shadows just reliving what happened. So you should be safe. If you want to go, you can see in the dark. So do you want to go scout out the cave and see if anything's weird over there?
The well, you mean?
The goblin cave. You
Yeah,
can move a
alright.
lot faster than most of us. If you get in trouble, just sprint back.
Just so you don't have to redo this thing again, Carlius, once you get to the entrance of the cave, most of the wood, like the wooden forest itself, is clear of any goblins. You do come across the 3 campsites where the adventurers have died, and you do still see their bodies there, preserved in the cold. And as you go to the main entrance of the cave, various bits of, at first, emitting green gas, but as the gas sort of dissipates a little bit, as you sort of wave your hand along it, you do know that the cave has collapsed in on itself.
Okay. Yep. I turn tail and head back.
Alright.
I don't even go looking through the cave. I just turn back.
Alright. And as you're heading back, Thorin, you come up to the tavern. What do you do?
I'm waiting to see what happens to Freya, because we found her the fabric in the bottom of the well. I'm assuming she gets taken that way.
Ah.
Because there's no one there to save her. Usually we're there to fight off the goblins and get her out
Bingo.
of the building, but there's no one to get her out. She's stuck in there.
Bingo. So as you sort of wait for quite a while actually, like maybe an hour, if you want to wait that long. Do you wish to wait that long?
Yeah.
Alright, you wait that long.
I just stand there.
Eventually, you see people, 3 shadows. You can very safely assume that these are the adventuring shadows, and they're sort of like waving their hands around, and one of them's like whipping his sword left, right, and center as the other sort of like throws his hands all over the place. Eventually, they start running off, and you see various other shadows start to run out of the tavern. And as they start to head off into the main direction of the town, like the center of it, you see one of the shadows get dragged off, sort of facing backwards, so she's being dragged backwards. And then one of the adventurers is following and flicking the hands wildly all over the place as the others move to the other side.
Is this the sorcerer woman?
You can assume so, yes. And they get moved towards the well, as you know. And eventually, once they get to about here, the sorcerer woman sort of falls backwards a little bit, and before standing up and taking a few steps back. And Freya, sort of, her shadow falls into the well. And then as you sort of peek down into the well again, you don't see your shadow anymore. Then for a few seconds pass, the 2 other shadows come back, and then they all stand around the well. They do a few pointing movements, and then they take off to the main road, and they start heading towards the entrance to the forest. And you can see like one other villager sort of running into the stables, and someone else in the main road running away.
Thorin's just trying to keep his food down. I'll make my way back to the group. I'm assuming they're going to do stuff in that hour that I was waiting there.
Yeah, and as he's waiting for that hour, Carlius, what do you do as you come back? Well, actually, sorry, I skipped Arcturus. Arcturus, what do you do while you're waiting in the caravan with Brother Benjamin?
Literally nothing. I'm just waiting.
Okay, all right.
I don't want to be a part of this.
Carlius.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse
So
me.
once I come back, I basically just stand by the caravan and wait.
All right.
Arcturus and I are probably waiting for you.
All right.
What did you find?
Oh, I guess I'll come back then. Oh, wait. Carlius.
Yeah, so basically everything was cleared out. But when I got to the entrance, the gas was starting to, or what looked like the green gas was flowing out through the entrance. So
Did you explore inside the cave?
No. As soon as I saw it was the green gas, I didn't want to take the risk. So, and the other thing I saw was that it was all collapsed in and on itself, so I can only assume that there's possibly been an explosion with the gas and it's collapsed in and of itself.
As frustrating it is to admit, I don't think we can do anything.
No.
Looks like this place is just reliving the raid over and over.
Yep. I truly think we were meant to be spectators.
And eventually Thorin makes his way back to the caravan.
Yeah. I walk back out towards the same center road a little bit and I wave.
I'll go up to meet you and call out. Did you find anything?
I'll like meet you halfway, and I just shake my head. I don't say anything. He looks obviously a little bit shaken and just like having a hard time processing what's happened.
Okay, we should move on and hope that we don't get caught again.
Alright. So does everyone hop in the caravan?
I hesitate for a bit, but I decide it's for the best and I'll get in.
Alright.
As I get in, I just want to say, Kalias, I followed Freya, or at least where she was, and he kind of just bows his head and can't make eye contact.
I pat him on the shoulder and say, look, it's okay. I've made my peace with what's happened and I think that's enough. But I do thank you.
It's alright. We need to tell the Holy See about this place.
Yep.
Alright. Eventually the caravan starts to set off onto the main road. And Brother Benjamin seems very uneasy as he's very slowly reining the horses in. And as you start to sort of travel forward, you see the town still very charred and burned and just lifeless. And as you sort of get up to the middle of the road, you all can see various shadows standing on the main road. And as the caravan's traveling fairly slowly, Kalias, you swear that you can see a glimpse of Freya. Not a shadow, but like actual glimpse of her. And she sort of gives you a smile as all the shadows part ways, opening up a path that Benjamin doesn't see as the caravan doesn't stop moving, and it goes forward. And they all sort of like turn over and look at the lot of you. And they sort of wave you on as everyone sort of travels forward. And as you leave the vicinity of Readon, you come back to the road map, ever so slightly closer to the Trident.
Okay, I think we should get as far as we can.
And
Should we sleep in shifts? Somebody can drive the cart
I'm back.
and just swap.
and 3,500 XP to everybody.
Hey!
How much? Sir?
Each?
3,500.
Cool.
Wow.
22,680.
Yep.
Hang on. 3, 5, 19, 20, 22. Yeah, it is 22,680. Sorry.
Right.
I can't math.
1,500 XP off level 7.
I'm down to continue for tonight, but are we closing up?
I was going to say I'm wondering if we should close up because it's just at that perfect point.
It's up to you guys. I'm willing to continue, but I don't want to push it if it.
Oh, sweet.
23.
Extra 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
It was so close. We're 320 XP
No.
away from level 7.
No.
No. Quick,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get in a bar fight or something.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to continue if you guys want. But
Oh, I was gonna say,
Um,
it might be a good
you can
stopping
go.
point. It's up to you.
Yeah,
guys.
otherwise you can go without me. I'm happy. And have someone just play the character.
No.
Nah, we'll stop.
Yeah, we can stop. It's alright.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we get started now, we'll probably be here till like,
Yeah.
like 2 o'clock or something. So,
Fuck, that twist was dark. That was awesome. That was so good.
I mean, it's dark, sure, but it was well orchestrated.
It was so good.
there's some inconsistencies, but I guess I'm just like maybe I don't understand it quite right because one of the things I didn't get is oh mate, what's her face? She gets killed after Callias leaves the tavern, right? But the thing is that doesn't really make sense because the tavern's already on fire, which is the reason that we left it.
So the
again?
adventuring party was there the first time, remember?
Yeah.
But we scared them off on that second night. So they would have been in there at the start. They would have gotten everybody out. Much in the same way that we did.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
But there were just
and,
too many people going in too many different directions and you couldn't keep track of everyone.
And out of character,
And-
also, Callias and like Freya's sort of experience is like obviously because Callias wasn't here when the whole thing happened. What Freya did couldn't have actually happened, but it's what she wanted to do, and it's why her will is sort of imposed on this version as you approach. Because she
This
missed
is
Callias for sure.
this is the surviving in limbo
Yeah, pretty much.
theory. Because the whole time, like when we came back the third time, I thought, this is being in limbo.
Yeah,
Where
but
the spirits wanted to do more, but
yeah, and Tobias was right with the being unfulfilled, mostly because
Yeah.
Benjamin doesn't know what happened here, but he's not the only one who doesn't know what happened here. The father told you guys to tell the Trident what happened here because no one knows what happened here, and the spirits wouldn't rest until you saw the rituals going down, and you got to the bottom of the whole cave thing.
Radio.
Otherwise, you would have been
Ah.
stuck forever doing the thing over and over again.
What's the psychological ramifications to the party, in particular Callias, with all
I
the
think-
shit going down?
I think a lot of it's done in character. You just
Oh yeah, I'm just asking in character, like what how's everyone thinking? Oh, not in character. I'm asking out of character. How's everyone thinking?
There might be
See,
something you have to talk to Thorin about because he's closed off.
Yeah, right on.
He doesn't really talk about his feelings.
Tobias probably looks like frustrated and a bit freaked out, but doesn't like talk about it unless you prompt him, I guess.
See, Callias is definitely going to be incredibly guilty. Incredibly guilty.
Yeah, she wanted you to stay
Um,
behind.
And it's really going to affect him moving. But I can't say for sure how until we see what sort of plot lies ahead.
For Arcturus, I think this has been really bad for his paranoid sort of like side thing. Like he's probably just going to be a lot more paranoid, and not in like the funny, amusing, oh my god, demons way. Sort of more like doesn't trust people, doesn't want to talk about things, kind of does shit behind people's back, that kind of stuff.
He's finally getting fucked up like the rest of our party. We've had a couple of moments like that already.
Yeah.
We used to be way more goofy, but then
To be fair, it took him long enough. Oh, so
Yeah.
it didn't take him as long as what it took.
yeah, no, it happened to us right away. We got fucked up straight away.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
that candles shit. Oh Christ!
candles.
Oh yeah, Carly's.
Oh, you weren't there for that.
Oh, wasn't I?
Yeah,
so.
there was one session you missed right after the abomination, and everyone got transported to
Oh,
his realm.
yes, there was too. Yes, indeed.
Also, West, if you need more creepy music that's in theme, check out the Namalsk soundtrack for Daisy Namalsk. That shit,
Yeah,
very
no, I'm
legit.
aware. It's just
Yeah.
Jukebox isn't very friendly to a lot of stuff.
Ah, right on. Well, you managed to get the Metro theme in here, which is pretty
Yeah, right.
incredible.
You actually get the JoJo theme in here. I fucking almost came in my pants when I heard that.
All right, all good. Thanks, it's a good stopping point, and yeah, thanks for playing.
Thank you
worries.
so much for having
Very well
such an
done.
engaged
just a minute.
storyline.
For sure.
Just
Jake,
play video games.
Jake is going to be so pissed when he realizes how much good shit he missed out on. That was
Yeah.
actually super awesome.
Like, even he would be like creaming his pants. Jesus.
That was so good.
Oh, I'm glad you all enjoyed it.
Very much so.
All right, have a good night.
Oh, sorry about the eating noises.
It's alright.
All good, man. But anyway,
Alrighty.
guys, you have a good night.
Have a good
Yeah,
night.
too.
thanks. You too, man.
See you later.
See ya.
Toodle pip.
See ya.